Today's subject is eating local versus eating vegan. One of the main reasons that I think everyone should be eating more plants and fewer animal products is because it has a really positive impact on the environment. But one argument I frequently hear against veganism is that some of the most popular vegan ingredients, like avocados, coconut, soya, and almonds, have to travel thousands of miles across the planet to land on our plates. The argument goes that it would be much better for the environment if we all ate local, seasonal produce. Intuitively, this seems to make sense because we all know that transportation is intrinsically linked to greenhouse gas emissions. But in actual fact, for most foods, transportation only makes up about 10% of the greenhouse gas emissions. Instead, the majority of emissions are caused by two things. 1. Land use change. That means deforestation and soil erosion, which prevents carbon being absorbed from the atmosphere. 2. Farm emissions. That's greenhouse gas emissions from animals, crops, fertilisers, manure and farm machinery. The biggest culprit for these two factors is animal agriculture. A number of other factors create emissions from food production, but at much lower levels. These include animal feed, processing, retail, packaging, and of course, transportation. A comprehensive 2018 study compared the emissions from these sources for all different types of foods. Of their top 10 foods, only 3 were plants. That's coffee, chocolate, and palm oil. All the other foods in the top 10 came from animal agriculture. I've included a link to that study in the video description below. Beef is by far the food with the greatest emissions. It actually has 2.5 times more emissions than the number 2 food on that list. To put it bluntly, if you choose to eat beef, then less than 1% of the greenhouse gas emissions associated with that steak have been caused by transportation. So, if you choose to eat local beef rather than beef that's being flown from around the world, you're actually having very little impact on the environment. Eating plants instead of beef would have a much higher positive impact. Of course, choosing to eat local food does have loads of benefits, and I admire people who seek out local food. When you eat locally produced food, you're supporting local businesses in your local community, you're getting to eat really fresh and tasty produce, and you're eating seasonally, so you'll be really in touch with the world around you and the ebb and flow of the year. And of course, you can eat local and vegan at the same time. I would say it's good to eat local food, it's better to eat vegan food, and it's best of all to eat local vegan food. Check out the video description for a couple of recipes that I've shared with you, and please do comment and tell me what you think of them. I'll see you tomorrow.